Friday the 28th of November reflections. So today we started off with tutorial sessions. So we did ones about like communication skills, cyberbullying, employment, and equality and diversity. We then played some games. So we played Duck Duck Goose, which just brought me back to my childhood because this was always a game you played when you were younger in the playground, and it was just really fun. Then we also played Bang. So this is Splat, basically. You call it different, but you got two people. If they say Maddie, that's my name, Maddie, I have to duck, and the two people next to me shoot. If the person next to me gets to duck, I have to shoot. Whoever's the quickest wins, and the other person's out. I get really competitive in this game. I don't know why. It's just one game I get really competitive in. After this, we then watched a YouTube video, and Matt told us you got to copy the baby. So we got to copy their choreo, which isn't really choreo, it's just movement. But we had to follow them. They were our dance teacher. This was really fun, but my thoughts on this is, like, toddlers' movements are they're very erratic. So at one point they jump, at one point they're just on the floor ready. They just throw themselves about, really. They don't think about how it looks. So it was quite fun to kind of step into their shoes a bit, because we think, like, right now I would think, oh, what's next? Oh, let's add a flowy arm, like, what kind of music is it, like that sort of thing. But maybe they're just having fun. They kind of bob up and down to the music, that sort of thing. So it's good to, like, step into their shoes and feel relaxed. We then did some work on relaxation and tension. So we tensed all our body, relaxed it, and then we tensed it really slowly, starting from, like, the feet to the shoulders, the head. Then we relaxed it, going the opposite way. We also thought of our centre of gravity. So for us, we did, like, reaching up to the sky until we would fall forwards, like that sort of stuff. And then we got to think like we're a bit taller, so our centre of gravity is, like, not as good as if you're lower and smaller. Your centre of gravity is quite good. And then our muscle control. So one of the ones we did is putting our hand into a fist and then doing that slowly and seeing the difference. We then did some improv. So there was, like, 5 tables with different tasks on. We had to be our kids. So what were on the tables were a game where you could create masks. Then one had thread that you had to lace into the shapes. We had Build a Town, which is those building blocks, making paper chains, or drawing a Christmassy scene. I found this really fun. I absolutely hated the shapes thread one. I hated it. It was so difficult to even get the threads out of the thing. Me, myself, struggled with that. So that's one thing my child struggled with. But I loved doing the Christmassy drawing and the paper chains. Like, making a mess was just really fun. And we also noticed that the quietest table was the drawing table, because it's the one you'd concentrate on the most. And we also noticed that the building blocks was the loudest, like throwing blocks everywhere, arguing which ones you want, that sort of thing. We then went into our nativity groups and practiced the song. So obviously we have We Three Kings. Yeah, that's the one we have. So everyone sang it through, and I just, like, kind of looked at how people reacted. Then I made them sing it as their child. So we kind of figured out, like, who does it really well. So, like, Felix, his character is very much, I know it, look at me. So Scarlett, like, her character is very much, she knows it, she's just very shy, and Alfie just knows it. Sam kind of just stood there and didn't really sing. He moved his mouth at points, so we realised that is the character that is, like, don't really know it, don't really care. And then Beth and Jed's characters, they do not like each other. So they were kind of arguing, but Beth was like, I'm better than you, like that sort of thing. So we kind of figured out the dynamic between the characters when they're singing, which was really good. After lunch, we then played some games. So we played the shape game. So we weren't allowed to speak. We just had to kind of form shapes. So we made funky shapes. So first we started off with like a cube, a cylinder. Then we became an aeroplane, a cow, like that sort of stuff. We weren't allowed to speak about it. We just had to kind of do it. Then after that, we did a vocal warm-up, just placement, stuff like that. And then we also did ha, which we go around in a circle. We use our head voice, our nyeh register, and then chest voice. So ha, ha, that sort of thing. And then we played motorbikes and airplanes. So this is where when you're a motorbike, you're going vroom, vroom, eek. When you go past someone, you go eek. And then airplane, you go brrr, da, 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 da. When you pass someone, you like shoot them, that sort of thing. It was really fun. Then we got back into our nativity groups and we created an improv kind of scripted piece to show, and we added some things in to make it work, not work, and then we performed those. So one of ours was, obviously we have two angels, Jed and Beth, and they always want to like one up each other. So that was kind of one of our like things to go wrong. We also had it where Alfie's, he is one of the shepherds, so his towel was over his face, that sort of thing. Like, it was really fun. Obviously we need to make it longer, but this was just like a quick little improv scripted kind of piece to kind of help us figure out what we kind of like, and also get some feedback from other groups that gave us ideas. And they also gave us critiques on what works and what didn't work. After that, we then started to kind of script things, and kind of we've realised that we need to script it first and then figure out where things go wrong, instead of going, oh, something goes wrong there. Script it, then after that, try to figure out where things can go wrong. And that was the end of Friday.